Welcome back to Stack Your Points. As always, I'm your credit card hermit, Matt from the Matt Clausen YouTube channel, joined by RJ. RJ, how are you today?
The Cowboys lost. All is good there. The Packers lost. Less is good. Less is good there, Matt. It's a Monday after Packers lost to the Carolina Panthers, and Tucker Kraft has a blown ACL. This hurts. And also, the Blue Jays lost in several dumb ways. Like, several incredibly stupid ways. It was a weird weekend for sports for me.
After the end of Game 6, I put in the sports section of the Stack Your Points Discord, which go to stackyourpoints.com. I put in the sports section of the Stack Your Points Discord, Addison Barker just cost his team the World Series. And he did.
He did, yeah.
And then they did it all over again.
Yep.
For Dodger fans, be prepared for Yoshinobu Yamamoto to be out all of next season, and then he'll come back and win another ring in 2027. Oh.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, we're also joined by Lonnie from the Call Me Lonnie YouTube channel. Lonnie's not as into sports ball, but Lonnie, how are you doing today?
I will say I'm doing pretty okay.
Ooh.
I don't have any like one-liners or quirks or quips or nothing for you today. And I'm not in any type of mood. I just am running on E when it comes to the one-liners. That is it. But
That's
give me a
fair.
minute. I'm sure I will fill up the tank and RJ will have to edit it out. But I just don't have anything quirky for the intro of this episode.
That is fair, though you do have those very stylish Oakleys.
I do have some pretty cool Oakleys on at the moment. Actually, all the Oakleys you've seen me wear in any video, all the glasses that is, are Oakley except for one pair.
Nice.
I got a lot
I
of Oakley prescription lenses.
so many. Yeah, my head is just too big for glasses, and yet I am basically blind, and I have the beginnings of cataracts and glaucoma. Yay!
Can you get the glasses that basketball players wear where they just wrap completely around their head like ski goggles?
I'm really not looking forward to that level of rec spec. I would much rather like an Oakley set of rec specs, but so I have to wear glasses for those of you who wear glasses, I have to wear like a 60-20-160 if you do the measurements on your glasses. I just have a freakishly large head. Most times when you see like the length, is it the length? Yeah, whatever. The length of the, what do you call it? The lens length. Like most people, it's like 47, 51, something like, no, I got to go out to 60. And the bridge, which is that second number, I need like between 19 and 22. I,
Big head, Matt.
lots of knowledge can get stored in here, and it's a pain in the ass to fit a nice pair of glasses too that are acetate. And I don't wear contacts as much anymore. You know what? Before we dive into that tangent or fly off into that tangent, let's not worry about eyeglasses. Although pretty much any eyeglass purveyor on the internet, Glasses USA, Frames Direct, all of those should be on Rakuten or the portal of your choice. Mine happens to be 4 letters long. Yours may not be.
Is it
There you go.
does it rhyme with cove?
Or Grove, or
It's
that's fine.
Rove, y'all. It's Rove.
All right. How about we jump into some questions? Because Lonnie's not feeling my nonsense right now. All right. With that, our first question comes from Arnally, who asks, can you rank the credits on these four high annual fee cards in your opinions? Chase Sapphire Reserve, American Express Platinum, City Strata Elite, and the Venture X from easiest slash best to most difficult slash worst. Lonnie, I know you only hold two of the four cards, but could you rank them?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
Because I'm not even going to lie. When it comes to the cards I don't have, Venture X, City Strata, Elite, I don't even know what credits they got because I don't have the cards. And it's not just a lack of knowledge of the competitors against my wallet. It's I don't pay attention to stuff that I don't have really. So I couldn't even start that. I know Venture X has a $300 travel credit when you use their the Capital One, yeah, travel portal.
That's pretty much it.
And that's about as far as I can go between those two cards. Not gonna lie. Now, CSR MX Platinum, absolutely, but unfortunately, you can't really rank them because now it's basically apples to apples. You got Edit versus FHR, which is basically the exact same credit except for a $50 difference, but the timelines are the same. Front half of the year, back half of the year. You have a $200 airline credit on Amex Platinum. You have a $300 travel credit that you can use basically on anything that goes as travel on the CSR. I will call those the same. I understand that, yes, I can use the CSR travel credit for anything else, but for the most part, we're going to use it on a big ticket item, which is going to be a hotel or airline. So I'm going to call them basically the same. That's a $100 difference. Other than that, everything else is just ancillary because now we're getting into Uber Eats versus Instacart and DoorDash. I would rank those a little bit lower. Actually, the Uber Eats one from Amex Platinum, I actually would rank high because it's super easy to use. The airline credit slash travel credit, I would also rank high. So they're going to be my top three, not in any particular order. And because they're both really easy to use. With CSR, just use it. With Amex, it's pick your airline and then just use it, which makes that easy. So actually, yeah, I'll put airline slash travel credit for CSR Amex as my number one, starting at the top. I would put the Instacart, DoorDash, Uber credits as number two because they come in second where it's simple to use. For example, when I use DoorDash, I just click a little button that says I want to pay off my CSR, instantly comes off. Don't have to do anything extra. Same thing of Uber. Just say, I want to use my credit and I want to pay off my Amex card. Instantly comes off your order. Used it for dinner tonight, actually. Got that one out of the way for November pretty early. And the last one is the hotel credits, the 300 twice a year or 250 twice a year Edit versus FHR. I'm going to put those at the bottom, not because they're not easy to use. They are. You have to be strategic on how you use them. I'm actually using one of my Edit credits right now where I'm basically using points except for the 250. So everything will get wiped out clean. But you have to use them twice a year. Like some of them, like Instacart, if I don't use that one, if I don't use my DoorDash, I don't care that I lost that $10. But
Yeah.
when you're actually stacking that against your whatever you define as value of the card, in my case, I actually see that 250 as value or 500 a year as value, that 600 a year now as value. I know I'm going to stay four times any throughout the year. That part's easy, but I have to be strategic in how I use it, how I redeem it, when I get to use it. Do I want to save it for X trip? Do I use CSR for this trip or do I use Amex for this trip? So for that one, I'm going to put it as the third one. And then all those other credits like Lululemon and Peloton, we're just going to trail off after that. So moving on.
No, that's fair.
So, if we're talking about the cards as a whole, I think that there's some somewhat interesting things. Like, if you look at, and I don't have this card, I have no interest in this card, but the City Strata Elite, like you have 300 up to $300 annual hotel benefits, two nights or more, right? That's part of that. The Edit is 2 nights or more. FHR you can do one night, which could be nice depending on how you stay. Though typically, unless, unless you're really close to a very nice hotel, you're probably gonna want 2 nights for the places in these programs, right? Like, I am staying one night at a Category 8 Hyatt because I am in comfortable driving distance and I book one night hotel stays a lot. I'll do like a mini road trip myself, get away from life for a weekend, but that's something I do regularly. So burning that credit is very easy for me. But if I have a partner or if I have a family trip or whatever, I don't want to just stay anywhere a night, typically, especially at a Category 8 Hyatt or the Waldorf Astoria or whatever is going to be in these programs. Again, going back to the Strata Elite, the Splurge credit, so American Airlines, Best Buy, Future Personal Training, Live Nations. If those work for you, great. Like, I probably could use Best Buy fairly easily, but like, I'd have to think about it. I'd have to think about going there versus another option. Everybody's got Priority Pass, so I don't care about that. You do get 4 Admiral Club with the Strata Elite, so if that is again, if that's something for you, then that could be great. It is not something for me, so I can't rate that. Everybody's got TSA Global PreCheck, so nobody's rating that. With Chase, again, you have the travel credit, which is great. You have it on the Venture X, also great. The Edit, if that's your flavor, awesome. If it's not, cool. IHG Platinum status, again, if that's your flavor, great. I have the IHG card, so that would mean nothing to me. Priority Pass, and then TSA, because everybody's got to have TSA. And then Apple TV and Apple Music subscription on the Sapphire Reserve is great, but I use Apple One, so that would mean nothing to me. I would end up paying more to divvy out those services than to just keep the Apple One subscription. I don't really use Dash Pass, so that
That was
doesn't.
such a loss on their end. Not to
It was
interrupt you. That was so
it
stupid.
was so dumb.
We're going to give you a credit for Apple One for the cost of Apple One, but we're not going to give you Apple One. We're also going to screw you if you want Apple One.
Yeah, I hate it.
Please continue.
I hate it so much. Like StubHub, I could use, but do I want to use StubHub as the ticket purchase platform? Not really. But could I? Yeah. And then I ain't using Peloton. So like those are fine. I agree with Lonnie that like the Platinum and the Edit, or I'm sorry, the Platinum and the CSR are like Concord grape versus white grape. Like they're basically the same thing. It's just personal preference. Like they have more or less the same vibes on the credit side. Their multipliers are different things like that. But they're basically the same. It's what do you prefer? So I guess I would put those two cards as 1 and 1A. And then I would do probably the Venture X is the easiest because there isn't much with it. And then the Strata Elite at the bottom because it's got some weird stuff. But it really, like, your life is going to dictate this. I can't tell you that a $300 portal credit with the Venture X is easier than FHR or the Edit because your life might be different than mine where that becomes a problem. So I think ranking credits, if you're not me or if you're not Lonnie or if you're not Matt, can be really hard for multiple different cards. But that is my attempt to do what you were asking, sir.
Oh yeah, Blackland. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so easiest best across all of the cards mentioned: the Sapphire Reserve, the Personal Platinum, the Strata Elite, the Venture X. Easiest are going to be by far the Chase Sapphire Reserve's $300 travel credit. Just what's travel? Anything that the Chase considers travel, which is still for that credit what the old multiplier for 3x travel was, all of that, your first $300 travel is just rebated back to you. Super easy to use. VentureX $300 travel coupon in their travel portal, super easy to use. The City Strata Elite Splurge credit, fairly easy to use. You just go in, you make your $100 purchase, you leave, you go to another vendor or back into the same vendor, you get your $100 purchase, you're good. So those are definitely the easiest. The airline incidentals credit with the American Express Personal Platinum. Do you like United Travel Bank? Purchase $200 in United Travel Bank, you're good. It can also be used for other airlines incidentals as well. Just the easiest one that everyone defaults to is United Travel Bank. Now, are there other ways to use it? Yes. Could you pay your check bags if you, for whatever reason, decided not to fly first class on a CRJ 900 from Albany to, I don't know, Georgia? Yeah, your check bag fee, incidental. Boom. You want to buy 2-day passes into the Sky Club because you are flying Delta and you're not holding any of your cards available to you with all of the day passes. Pay Delta, airline incidental. Although how easy it is to buy a day pass, I'm not 100% sure. But if you wanted to buy into a yearly pass, into the yearly membership, into the Sky Club, you'd get $200 off using the American Express Platinum Personal Platinum card. Super easy credit to use. From there, the Black Lane credit, the semi-annual credits, that would be the Black Lane credit from the City Strata Elite. The dining credits, the Chase dining credit has to be absolutely the worst and most difficult to use because it's only applicable to 400 restaurants and nobody really knows what type of swipe it takes to actually activate the credit. It's a disaster. It's a dumpster fire. Fling it into the sun. I do not like it. I do not appreciate it. Chase, please fix this freaking thing yesterday.
Please tell us how you feel. I can't quite get your.
He does not like green eggs and ham, Samael. He does not like them.
Okay.
What Chase needs to do is unleash little cat Z and some vroom to the dining credit.
We already saw what happened when Thing 1 and Thing 2 got released. So, see, Matt, I told you, just give me a minute and they will just come to me. We're not going to do a whole Dr. Seuss thing again, though.
I don't know.
Like we did the Alice in Wonderland episode. We're not doing that again. Cat in the Hat.
I speak for the CSR customers. I speak for the trees.
Look, Matt, if no one cares, someone must care a whole awful lot, or nothing's going to get better. It's just not.
Can't remember if that's Lorax or Horton Hears a Who.
Lorax.
There we go. Perfect. All right. Anyhow, semi-annual credits, terrible. The edit credit, it's 2 nights, which people say is a hindrance. I don't think it's that big a deal. You can spend 2 nights at a hotel. Whoop-de-doo. The problem is you can't minimize it to $250 with that. So that is the complaint. The complaint is not that it's a 2-night stay. The complaint is I can't get it to $250. A lot of folks who use who I will say use, but I mean manipulate the FHR credit, got it down to as close to $250 previously as they could. Now they've got $50 more and they can do it twice a year. So they're going to say 1 night's better than 2 nights. Again, I ask, why are you checking into and out of a hotel if you're on a multi-day vacation to check in, check out, and then go to another hotel? Because you got this awesome $300 deal on FHR versus the regular stay that you paid, I don't know, the equivalent of $300 for. That's you. That's your travel style. That's not necessarily my travel style, is what it is. After that, then there's the monthly credits. Those are annoying. Or quarterly credits. The quarterly credits are a pain in the ass. On the Amex, it's the Resi credit, the Peloton credit. What else is quarterly? No, those are the only quarterlies. I only say that they're a pain in the ass just because you have to remember to do them every quarter. Or you could just not and be fine with it, which would probably be my approach if I had the personal platinum. And then there's the monthly ones, and you have the stupid Chase DoorDash credit. It's fine, but like it's annoying. I let that slide half the time. And you have the Lyft credit. The Lyft credit is really easy to use with Chase. It's your first ride, it just knocks $10 off. You just have to take Lyft at least once a month and you're good. Some months I do, some months I don't. I have a car, so I don't need Lyft that often. It's just in the instances where I don't have a car available to me that I grab it. Or I choose to go
From
be
the
an adult.
airport. Every single one. Every single lift I take is either to or from an airport.
That's expensive though.
Not when you have so many $10 credits.
There's that.
I got 3 or 4 cards of Lyft credits. I'm good.
You also live, I would guess, much farther from an airport that you would reasonably be flying than Lonnie does.
Yeah, I can actually see the planes coming into an airport where I live.
Yeah, I can't. They're overhead. They are, but I still got an hour's drive. So the monthly ones would then be like the worst. I think the worst overall credits, the Black Lane credit on the City Strata Elite that you use twice a year. Oh boy, I get to be chauffeured around. Like you're just doing fancier lift. And you're paying an obnoxious premium to do fancier lift that is just to the airport. But I guess $100 every 6 months isn't I don't know. I just think it's stupid. It's not the worst city credit that there is because that goes to Toro. That Toro credits are a joke. Anyway, yeah, so like best, easiest to use travel credits for Chase and Capital One. Then you have the FHR credit, the edit credit, the hotel credit from the City Strat Elite. Then you have your quarterly credits, your other semi-annuals. StubHub credit's fine. If you really want to save money and maximize it, just pay for that same event via GoGo. But I didn't. I used StubHub for my StubHub credit, and I got more mile. I stacked it because that's what you do around here. You stack your points. I just didn't stack it through Rakuten. Anyway, yeah. So easiest are going to be the ones that are just the quickest and most beneficial all in one. Then the hardest one is just going to be keeping track of those monthlies, whether it is an Uber monthly, a rideshare monthly, or a delivery monthly. Making sure that you're doing those monthlies can be a task. And again, I just treat my monthlies as just tips for my drivers, but that's me. You do not have to live that way. Some people just try to minimize it as best they can. If you got that brain capacity, that's fine. I don't. Yeah. Hope that answers your question, Arnally. And if not, we apologize. We'll go to our next question, which comes from RP 2048.
Hold on. Before
Yep.
we get to the next question, honest question here for me, not asking for a friend.
Sure.
Now that we're past October 26th, if I say, hey, Chase, replace my CSR, do I get the new design or they're just going to send me the old one again?
Market is damaged. People have been able to market as damaged and get the new one, even under the old, like, our grandfather date. Like, folks were getting the new design between June and October 26th.
Like in my digital wallets, it updated to the new design, and that's what I'm asking. So, anyone I have seen it, put it in the comments, tag me, hit me up, let me know, whatever. I'd like to know because why not? New design. Back to the regularly scheduled program. Don't edit that out.
It looks like if you go into the Stack Your Points Discord, stackyourpoints.com, go to the Discord, Double ask the same thing, and Diamond Race says that you can get it like second day at most by UPS.
I know
with the new design.
I know they'll send it like within 24 hours, 48 hours or whatnot. But before the 26th, literally told me I was getting the old design. But now that it's past that, I haven't checked, and I haven't heard anyone say, "Oh, now I've done it." Because I have heard people before the 26 say they tried to do it and they ended up with it's been like 50-50, 60-40. Some people are like, "Oh yeah, I got it," and other people are like, they just sent me the old one. I don't want to go through all that because then I got to change 20 different websites with the card already saved in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever. Not a big deal. Just wanted to know. Leave it that where it is.
That's
Interruption finished.
Oh, no worries. Oh, wait, Lonnie, how many of the new features have you already used?
That's a good question. Dang it. Quite a few. I did sign up for the Apple stuff because, as we have discussed within the last not even 90 days, 60-ish days, I have bought an iPad, switched over to the Apple ecosystem. Now my iPhone has showed up as well because I got that when it launched. We've talked about that. We don't need to get into it. So the Apple TV I've been using because I haven't done Apple One yet because I bought so many new Apple products that I basically get Apple services
Unlimited
free for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So I am stacking those benefits at the moment before I have to actually start paying for subscriptions. So Apple Music, which I'll probably never use because YouTube for life over here, YouTube Premium that is. Apple TV, which I actually do use, so I'm really going to enjoy that one until it's irrelevant. So hopefully Chase comes out and says, "Hey, we'll just give you Apple One with your CSR." They're paying the exact same price. I don't care what anyone said. Look, I've done the whole marketing, the whole business development thing. This one makes absolutely 0 cents. They can afford the $19.99.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on. I'm trying to think what else was there because I'm like all over the place right now. What other credits were new? Peloton, of course. And I'm a little like foggy because I did all the platinum and all the CSR credits like
At the
literally in
same
one
time.
sitting. So I'm like thinking, oh, Lulu. Nope. Lulu's not this one. It's not the CSR. Let me look it up and I'll come back to you because StubHub, I probably, like RJ said, I probably wouldn't use anyway because I don't use it, period. I'm too old for concerts. Unless we're going to go see Disney on Ice or Danny Go or like Miss Rachel or something like that, I'm not buying tickets because I'm above that age bracket where I just rather sit at home.
That's fair. I'm going to assume no on the Chase dining, and then there's the edit credit for this half of the year, or like the last 3 months of the year.
Like, I wasn't kidding. I literally just booked a hotel as we were recording this episode. That one just got used.
Boom. So there you go. All right.
Dining is hit or miss. Yeah, if I'm in the area, I see the restaurant and I got the credit, then sure. If not, I'm not going to go out of my way. I don't go out of my way for a lounge. I'm not going to go out of my way for a restaurant.
Oh, no, absolutely. Chase, if you're listening, hi, Larry the intern. Please, for the love of God, just make it all open table restaurants. If it's on open table, you'll get the $150 credit.
Thank you. That will be. Can we just go back to simple? Can we just go back to simple? That is simple. Period. End of story.
Chase used to have this whole platform where you could like pre-buy dinner reservation and you got 10 times Chase points. It was really interesting concept and like poorly executed, but then that service got bought out from under them. So Chase doesn't know what they're doing half the time, it feels.
I'm just really glad that as much as we bag on the Resi credit, there's not like Resi Plus where like only those will be activated with your platinum card versus the
Don't
regular
threaten
Resi.
Amex with a good time. Steve Square just saw dollar signs in his eyes when you said that.
Yeah, but
You
they own
mean
Resi
like
outright. So
you can say in Resi, hey, I have a gold or a platinum card and become like a platinum member. You can do the same
Yeah.
in Open Table with the CSR. The problem is I haven't seen one CSR restaurant in Open Table, and I've just been randomly like looking up cities at this point, just searching for one. I travel through all the major cities of this country, all of them, and I haven't found a single one like Chase table in Open Table yet. Period. Which means they probably don't exist, and if they do, they're stupid. And you have to be there at 5:15 in the afternoon.
Which
Actually, all in Toledo, Ohio, which is why Lonnie can't find them.
I appreciate Lucas County, Ohio, but yeah.
Yeah, shout out to my sister. How you doing?
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, Larry, I apologize, but make it just all Open Table restaurants to get the $150 credit. Just, I don't know. That'd be easy. Okay. Rant basically over there. All right. Let's move over to our next question. We were supposed to do that about 15 minutes ago. Oops. So this question comes from RP2048. It's what we do on these like smaller shows. RP2048 asks, is there a credit card middle ground? It seems as if you start with one, then maybe two, and then once you realize you can get multiple, people have a decision to make. Either use credit cards a regular way or fully jump into points and miles. Very little middle ground, if any. RJ, do you think there's a credit card middle ground?
Yeah. Act like a normal human being and not a crazy person like the rest of us. Yeah, there absolutely is a middle ground. You can just have like a Hilton Surpass, like your normal like cashback cards or whatever, and like a Hilton Surpass. And you go to Hilton's if you're visiting your in-laws or doing a couple road trips and or Hilton or Hyatt. I'm going with Hilton just because that's what I stay at. IHG would work as well. Just get a mid range or the highest if it's a 99 is the highest credit card they have, and just stay like a normal person. Like a normal person who understands what status is and understands like credits, the basic stuff. Like you don't have to have 15 credit cards to do this. The problem is that the community encourages terrible behavior, like convincing somebody to approve a credit card on a Thursday Night Live. That's not normal behavior. Absolutely not normal behavior. Now, does sometimes it work out? Yes. Is it normal behavior? No. I think the credit card community, like, we all think that having a bunch of cards is good because we all have a bunch of cards. And we get people to get more cards because we feel better about the cards we have if people get more cards. But no, you could get the Delta Gold, the Hilton Surpass, and then a 2% cashback card and be perfectly fine. You get the basic status, the basic and no fees on bags and stuff. With Delta, you get some perks with Hilton. You get your cash back on everything else, and life goes on. Like, you can absolutely do that. Like, you don't have to be crazy to do this. You don't. I keep trying to tell people that, and yet people won't listen to me because they like are snorting mini CSRs. Guys, you don't have to do it. Put down the rolled up $100 bill, please.
Also, that's micro metal. It's going to hurt. And in fairness to me, you were pre-approved for one of those cards.
I was, and I wasn't going to take it. And then you're like, no, you should take it. Also, look at my Aviator Red that I absolutely shouldn't have. That though I did use it to get a rental car for Hawaii, I got a Mustang convertible for my several days in Hawaii, so worked out.
Again, I didn't push you into applying for that one. I just said they were handing them out like candy, and you said, yeah, and you lost that bet.
Again, still not normal behavior. Again, I'm not saying I am normal. Perish the thought. But things like that are not normal. Things like that happen in the community fairly often. We
That's fair.
literally, I think the most popular GIF in our Discord is some variation of somebody saying, "Hey, I'm thinking of applying for this card, but I don't know." And somebody posting the GIF of Kermit the Frog in the robe saying, "Do it." Like, that is the most popular GIF. We are all terrible influences on each other when it comes to getting new credit cards.
The second most popular GIF is raccoon related.
Yes, because Matt is basically a human raccoon.
Lonnie, credit card middle ground. Thoughts?
I think he left out the people in debt from this question and if they apply. Because for some people that might not be financially responsible or fall upon different hardship will get more credit cards just to make it to tomorrow, which is a completely different scenario. And I'm not going to touch that scenario because I don't have experience in that scenario. And I'm grateful I don't have experience in that scenario. And I apologize for anyone that has to go through that or dealing with the repercussions of it, because I know that has to suck. Anyway, yes, there is a middle ground, and that's you stop when you got what you needed. Period. What is it that you're trying to do? And once you realize, hey, I'm covered, just stop. Just be like, I'm good. I've gotten to that point. People ask me all the time, what's the next card I'm going for? I'm like, I'm not looking for another card because I'm good. I got exactly what I need. It covers everything for all the various trips that I take, business and personal, for all the cards I got, every single like travel credit and perk and benefit, all those boxes are checked. It's not a competition. So you don't have to get another card. You don't have to like keep going. You know, you're not going to get a merit badge for your sash because you hit 10 cards or 15 cards or 20 cards or you pay $2,000 in annual fees. You're not, there's no little award for it. To be honest, no one thinks you're cooler because you have 5, 7, 10, 12, 19 cards. No one thinks you're cool. Matter of fact, if you told somebody, hey, I got 12 credit cards, they probably think you're in debt. They probably think you're one of those people in some absolute hardship. It even goes to the fact of being a YouTube creator. Now, I'm not going to say I'm a big one. Not even going to say I'm successful on the curve of what successful YouTube creators look like, especially even just in our space. I don't even have double digit. I'm not even in the 10Ks yet. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I'm not even at 5K yet. But go to a hotel or check in at an airline and be like, oh, yeah, I do YouTube. And they'd be like, sweet, dude. Next. So get what you need and get out. Or just move to the side and let the next person get what they need. You can always come back for more if you need to, but it's not a race, it's not a competition. And so, yes, there is a middle ground, but that middle ground is also based on a curve. What is it that you need? What is it that you're trying to achieve? What is it that you feasibly use and also feasibly afford? But can you stop at 2? Absolutely. I've said it before. If I really wanted to, I'll keep my United Purple card and my CSR, and I could continue. My world would keep spinning. Would I lose a couple of things? Yes, but big whoop. I would still be able to travel. I would still be able to use points. I would still be able to get the same value. So it's a choice. And the choice is get what you need or keep going. If you decide to keep going, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not your mama. I'm not your dad. I'm just a guy on the internet. But to answer your question, yeah, there is a ground. There is a stopping point. We've all been there or we're all really close to it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. There's once you realize you can get multiple people have a decision to make. I don't know if they have a decision to make, but like when you realize you can get multiple credit cards, it starts becoming a question of, okay, where do I stay? Do I want to prioritize hotels over airlines? Do I want to prioritize traveling over just having a basic 2% credit card? Because you can have a basic 2% credit card and just book through booking.com and like eventually start saving money through their status program. If you really want to, you absolutely can do that. You can prioritize cashback by adding your 2% card with Rakuten and getting 95% cash back on Norton LifeLock. Just buying it once instead of buying it 5 times, because every time the 95X comes up, you need to have the 95X because you just happen to run out of membership reward points. Then you think, oh, this is a killer way to get those back. Yeah, but now you have 6, 7 licenses of Norton LifeLock, and are you okay? How locked does your life have to be? Because like by the 5th one, and your life still isn't locked, I don't think that's a Norton problem anymore. There's other ways to accentuate what you do in the credit card game. There's all sorts of cashback things. There's top cashback, there's Rakuten, there's swag bucks if you really want to play with super fake money. Some folks are starting to turn toward crypto reward cards. Good on you. I don't know what you think the value there's going to be, but sure, that funny money could actually become real money. Who knows? But no, there's absolutely a middle ground. It's the folks who high maximize and have to get every elevated offer come hell or high water, and they're willing to do gray area things at best and things that I would describe as probably fraud at worst. Like there are folks that I've noticed in the community who will get denied for a card under not their application, but an application that they're doing in someone else's name, which already is fraud. Calling the bank, claiming to be this person, yelling at the bank for how the bank is discussing them because they're claiming to be a person that they're not, and also they're taking that claim even further, all in the name of getting another 90K Inc. welcome offer. Because you need that 90K welcome offer. Because you can't be happy with the 15 other welcome offers that you previously got that were another 90K welcome offer and your 47 custom caches. Now you need another card. That's too far. Middle ground, be happy with what you got, man. If you are all in on Hilton, get the Hilton cards that make you happy. Pair it up with another travel solution if you really want to. If you really like flying Delta, get the Delta cards that make you happy and carry on with your life, man. You don't need to go hardcore at, I have 57 custom caches. What's wrong with you? I have a life. By custom cache 10, like, I think I probably should have been seriously questioning a lot. Because that's $5,000 a month and spend to maximize it. Now you got 57 of them? Come on now. Get help. Anyway. So yeah, there's definitely a middle ground. I do think that, like, you don't need, as Lonnie said, you don't need 15, 19, 20 cards. And if you do, Talkspace is an option.
It was a choice. It was a choice. If you do,
it was a choice. It was a choice. To which I say, again, Talkspace is an option. Contact your insurance company just to see if there's people you can talk to about how you're feeling and this compulsive need to get credit cards. Yeah, there's help out there. Hashtag not a sponsor, just a person who uses it. Anyway, so thanks, RP. We're answering the questions weird tonight. Our next question comes from Jason, also known as Ladder Emoji, from the Discord, who asks, when I was a kid, my family somehow got involved in selling Amway. Yikes. I heard a lot about selling the plan and going direct where you get to the top of a mountain, and the peons below you do all the work while you supposedly rake in the money. As I listen to a lot of the content out there in the credit card space via podcasts and YouTube, my antennae spike up when the language being used starts sounding like what they use in the MLM world, middle level marketing. With the rise and fall of content creators being tied to their ability to generate referrals or get people to use their affiliate links, is the credit card space MLM adjacent enough to be too close for comfort? Is there any aspect of the creator ecosystem that makes you feel like we're part of a pyramid scheme? I'll turn to my fellow creator first on this one, or my fellow YouTube channel creator, for Lonnie.
All right, it's a long question, so I'm just making sure I hit all the parts here. That's what I'm looking at my other monitor for. In the starting at the end, the whole MLM, is it a pyramid scheme? Are we part of one? No. To go back to the last answer, it's a choice. We chose to get in. We can walk away from this at any given time. Just, you know what? Ain't for me anymore. I ain't got it. I ain't got the time. I don't got the patience. I don't got what fill in the blank. And just walk away. There, as for the rise and fall of content creators being tied to the ability to generate referrals. Now, that's just social media that has taken off, in my opinion. They found a way to profit, make a profit, make a benefit, make, something to their advantage. And now everyone does it. Everyone does it. It doesn't matter what type of creator, to an extent. Like even your favorite brands do it. I see. This is why I stay away from Instagram, because Instagram is only trying to shove stuff down my throat. Everything is just selling stuff. I actually saw, here's a great example. I actually saw this ad for protein shakes between Huel and Kachava. And this dude was like, oh, I'm going to do a blind taste test. His thing was literally like such and such Huel was his tag name. So you already knew it was fake. And he was like, took one sip, was like, oh, Kachava tastes horrible. And by the way, I really like Huel. And if you're interested, I got a promo link. I got an affiliate link. I'm like, dude, I already knew you have Huel in your name. I knew this wasn't going to be legit. I.e., don't trust anything on social media that's trying to sell you something, because they're only there to try to sell you something. And don't get me started on Amazon. Put something in your wish list and they just keep shoving that in your face every time you log in, open up the website, or open up the app. They're just there to sell you something. They don't actually care about you. And that's how I feel like us as creators, and I'm not going to say I'm not guilty of it. If you've seen one of my videos, you definitely heard me say I got referral links in the link down below. They're all in my link tree. Go check it out right now if you want to, if you don't believe me. And while you're there, if you see a card that you like, go ahead and click the little link and go apply for it using one of my links. See, it's that easy. But the thing is, we're all in this game to get as many points as possible, right? I built my channel around educating on how to stack points. We actually call this podcast Stack Your Points. No affiliation, small affiliation. No affiliation, though. We actually had a different name at first. I forgot what it was. But this is what it is now. It's been over a year. Screw it. We're Stack Your Points, right? I am very adamant that my role in the credit card game, the reason why I got in it was to get as many points as possible so I can travel for less. I want to get as many points as possible for the smallest amount of work and for the smallest amount of money out of my pocket and bank account. If that means you click my link and I get 40,000 points, win. So yes, if that's just another lever, the same way I can talk about use Rakuten, the same way I can talk about use a travel portal, the same way I can talk about use a shopping portal. You want to know another way for me to get points? Use my referral link. I will not be mad if you do. I also won't be mad if you don't. I understand. But I would not necessarily say that we're in some type of MLM for referral points specifically. I won't necessarily say that we only are doing this for the referral points. There are a lot of authentic creators out there that are literally just there to help educate. I am sitting on this podcast with one. I do it. I got into it, and I've told this story many a times before. No one was talking about credit cards and points the way that I use them. And that was my inspiration to start a channel. That's why I did it. And let's not get it twisted. Until you get that first 1,000 subscribers and whatever 1,000 hours or whatnot, you're not getting paid. You're doing this as volunteer work. You're doing this for the sake of volunteer work. So outside of that, if you haven't hit that yet, or you're just trying to recoup the cost of hitting that first milestone to get monetized as a YouTube creator, you might as well get paid, because your referral link has nothing to do with YouTube. You can put your referral link on your very first video and start getting points and miles off of it. And granted, a lot of people do it that way, but at the same time, it's a really easy way to get a whole lot of points. Go look at, chances are, if you're watching this episode, you have at least 1 or 2 credit cards. Open up your account, and I guarantee you somewhere in there it says, hey, you send out your referral link to your friends and we'll give you 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, whatever, how many points. That's all you got to do. The thing is, we have a platform to get it to literally an unlimited amount of people. Complete people I've never met before, crossed paths for, been in the same room, probably never even been in the same state of, can click on my link. And that's why we as creators do it. Some of us are honest about it. Some of us are disingenuous. Like I said, I don't necessarily push it down your throat or anything, but at the same time, I'm not going to let that opportunity pass me by. If you want to get a card that I got and you're just going to go apply for it without a referral link, then that's not stacking your points. That's leaving money. That's leaving money with the bank. The only time I ever actually, and personally, the only time I actually ever have a problem with it is if you talk to me, ask me a bunch of questions, and ask for my assistance in helping decide to get it, and then you don't use my referral link afterwards. My best friend, I'm going to call him out twice now, by the way. He's my best friend for over 2 decades. He's done it twice now. Then I have a problem.
You can forgive the first one almost, but the second, no.
But the thing is, like, we have a Discord and we talk about these cards in our Discords, and every so often people are like, hey, I have a question about it. Can someone answer me this? Can someone answer me that? And 100% of the time it's like, yo, I think I'm gonna get it. And then all of a sudden 5 referral links start popping in probably from the 5 people that responded to your questions, because, hey man,
help me out.
I did this for free, but you could actually help me out, right? Matt, how many times have I wasted an hour of your day researching cards and using you as my validation for said cards? And then I turn around and say, Matt, yo, if you got it, send me a link. Or if you know someone that needs it, send me a link. Yeah. My Marriott Bond boy, Brilliant, even though he's not here, came from KidCat. I used his referral link. I knew he had it. I asked him questions about it. And I said, yo, I think I'm about to jump. Send me yours. So I won't necessarily say it's a scheme or a game. There are people that are in this game honestly, and there's also some that are only in this game probably letting AI stealing other people's content just so they can keep shoving it down their throats. And I'm not going to drop any names, but you probably can guess at least 2 of them. We're gonna leave that right there because and that's gonna open up the can. That's gonna open up a different can of worms. But they are only in it to get that referral link because that's the way that they get points. And let's just call it the biggest pet peeve ever. This card's awesome. Go get it. And then they turn around and be like, this card sucks. You should get rid of it. Or sell you a card that they don't have. Those types of creators I'm not too happy with. But you know what? Let them do them. It's only offensive if you're one of them. So I can't really upset you unless you're guilty of that. But yeah, I would say we're not everyone out there is trying to sell a plan. Like you need these five cards. This is the best hotel card. This is the only airline card that you need. I don't think a lot of us are out there. A lot of us are really just there to educate, but I would actually also say pay attention to who you're listening to and why you're listening to them. Are they selling you a card that they don't actually have and then telling you, I got a referral link? And is that referral link directly to the card or is it through some other third party type of company? They're probably there for your points. That's all I'm going to say. All my referral links, if you really want to figure out who I am, even though I go by Lonnie, click on one of them. Most of them pop up my real name because they're my actual ones directly from my credit card account, which is how a lot of people like, wait a sec, that's not your full name? No, it's not. How they know? They clicked on my referral link and something else popped up. That's how you know at least they're coming directly from the creator, or maybe it's an affiliate link coming from a bank in some way, shape, or form. So
Yep.
I understand where the question is coming from, Jason, but I don't fully agree with it. And hopefully my answer helped explain why I don't fully agree with it. Long answer.
No, definitely very thorough. RJ, your thoughts here?
So I agree with Lonnie. I don't think it's MLM. I think it's a grift. I think there are definitely people grifting, but there's also people grifting in sports YouTube, right? That's a form of YouTube I watch a lot of. There are people who do it how I would consider the right way and still make their living off of it. There are people who do it the right way and have full-time jobs like the three of us do, right? Like you don't just because you have memberships or have affiliate links or have whatever doesn't mean that you're grifting. It's how you behave. There are absolutely content creators in the credit card space that are only doing videos to try to get points from people signing up for cards under their links so they don't actually have to spend money to travel. It's not hard to figure out who they are. Like, watch their content and you can figure it out pretty easily.
Thanks, RJ. Like I said, you're only offended if it's you.
Exactly. If you know it's you because you're doing it, I can't help you. I'm sorry. So, like, I think I've gotten a total in 2 years of 5 people sign up through links for me. I honestly helped my mom sign up for a card and I forgot to use my own affiliate link doing it because I was just helping her out and we were looking at a bunch of things. So it's like that's how not in my brain space affiliate links or links tend to be. So it becomes this thing where we just want to talk about credit cards. Like we want to talk about what we do. We find them interesting. We like having conversations. The show was literally born from us just liking to talk to each other. So I think you can, if you watch our show, I think you can figure that out. And none of us make a full-time living on YouTube. I don't think any of us are particularly close to making a full-time living on YouTube. And we're not gamifying it to try to make that happen. So I think you can tell that. There are people who try to and fail. There are people who try to and have succeeded. and probably get several 100,000 points. But here's the thing. So you get 900,000 chase points or whatever. Yeah, you can cash that out for 90,000, you can travel, but chances are like that can't be your full-time thing unless you're also taking sponsorships and then you're getting into things like that, right? If you're just doing referrals, it's really hard to make a full-time life off of that. Really hard. People try it, they fail, and then they fade into the ether, never to be heard from again. Or they show up in a different sports or media or a different context and try it there because it didn't work in credit cards. So I get what Jason is saying, and I can see some echoes of like an Amway in how people present things, but I think the mechanisms are so different that, yeah, you can make a lot of thousands of points off of links, but again, a lot of banks are now limiting how many points you can make off of referral links anyway. So I think if you're somebody who's gonna grift, you're gonna grift this. If you're somebody who's not gonna grift, then yeah, you might mention referral links or whatever, but it's a supplement. It's not the reason, right? Matt and Lonnie are very thankful if you use their links. I am very thankful if you use my link, but if you don't, I'm still going to work tomorrow. I still have my 9 to 5 in the morning if you use my link or not. Everybody in our Discord could use a link to one of my cards, and I'm still going to work tomorrow. So I think that is a thing. Like, also curate, if you're seeing those people regularly, curate your YouTube feed, my man. Stop watching them. Stop subscribing. Mark them as not interested. Eventually they will go away.
It's 40,000 points, not the Mega Ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but if I cash
But
out those 40,000 points and then win the Mega Ball,
if
I
I
mean,
had
if you
won
win
the
the
Mega
Mega
Ball,
Ball,
I
you can
don't
just,
care about points anymore.
yeah,
I
is
honestly
that
don't. I
stay
am
in the
there's
just
Four
that.
Seasons.
oh, that flight cost $10,000. I have it now. I'm not worried about it. I don't care how many points I get or how many it would have cost. I got it now. Also, to touch on one thing that RJ had mentioned, one of my favorite things is follow the flow of promotional or inflated offers. My favorite time of the year that comes around 3 or 4 times a year is when Hilton does inflated offer plus a free night cert on basically all their cards, except for the Aspire because it already has one. And then
Yep.
all of a sudden, all I see on my YouTube page is Hilton card videos. All of a
Same.
sudden, everybody needs one because they're like, yo, use my referral link, use my referral link, because the offer is inflated and the referral link's also inflated, by the way.
Same anytime the Sapphire Preferred goes to 90,000 points
Oh,
or goes to 100,000 points. And anytime you see the Ink Cash and the Ink Unlimited, which currently have 90,000 point offers, but nobody did a video this time around because Chase changed the language at the beginning of October
that you don't get it the same
that you
way.
don't get it the same way. So everybody stopped making videos when
Shout out to
90,000
Matt
points.
Clausen using my referral link before that happened and got me 40,000 chase points.
Sure did on the Ink Cash, I think.
No offense.
If
I
you
don't
don't
care which one you use, but thanks for the 40,000 chase points.
exactly. If you're looking to start a new business, please use either Lonnie or my links for any of those. I'm kidding. Not
Look, guys, they're
really.
both going to work in the morning. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
they could use each other's links 5 times over. They're still going to work tomorrow.
Yeah, my 9 to 5 pays significantly more than what I get off of YouTube. Yeah. Which also answers the question like, Lonnie, how come you don't drop a video every single week? Because
Busy.
this all needs to get paid for first. Prioritize.
Lonnie is a businessman. Like, we talk about business cards. Lonnie is a businessman.
Yeah.
What's funny is, and I know Matt, you didn't bring up my members. You didn't make a reference to my members only video
Well,
today.
Craig's on assignment. You said that you were going to talk to him later, and he's not here. So it's just like, I got nothing.
I don't know why Shane hasn't rolled over yet. It's literally been like 2 months, but whatever. To RJ's points, I actually made a reference to a bad customer service scenario that I experienced over the weekend. And in most cases, most people would have caused a scene to some degree. I'm not the one that's going to start like kicking stuff over, screaming, yelling, or whatnot. But because of my profession, there's no way I can end up on YouTube or TikTok causing a scene in public and keep my salary. If you're catching what I'm throwing, so I'm going to handle this a different way. We're gonna walk out of here. I'm gonna handle this a different way. Because not only was I standing in that customer service line on my phone, so was everyone in front and behind me. That would have instantly been recorded.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. So yeah, I can't. I'm not gonna risk it for that biscuit. Shout out to Uncle Luke.
Yep. There's some things worth risking. Most others are not. Honestly, at this point, I can understand the question, the MLM side of things. I I feel like if it feels a little too MLM to you, it probably is a little too MLM in terms of what's going on. We all take a break and mention our links down below. My personal thing is I've got links in the pinned comment. If you use them, great. If you don't, whatever. I have plenty of people, like more people are signing up on one particular link than any other link I've ever put in the description in the pinned comment, which is great. And now they're starting to use that service, which is awesome. But it doesn't materially affect what I'm able to do. It's not like I'm making so many miles that I can just book a trip every freaking weekend. But I will say, if it feels like it's starting to walk like a duck, talk like a duck, probably is a duck. If it with certain channels, like I can certainly understand how that can come across. Try to find folks who are a bit more, I don't want to say try to find folks who are a bit more genuine, but there are folks who will acknowledge, hey, use my link if you want. It's down below. It doesn't, I'm still going to work tomorrow. There are folks who have affiliate pages and they'll highlight the affiliate page and, hey, if you use my affiliate page, like I make a small commission on this. And they're at least that level of transparent about it. But again, they're probably also going to work tomorrow. I don't want to get into the whole business of affiliate pages. I've got referrals. If you use them, great. If you don't, I'm going to work tomorrow. Um, but yeah, I don't think I feel like I've sorted out those folks and I've sorted out some of the griftier sort of channels that are out there, and they're definitely out there. It's just, after a while, they're not convincing in the same video about card X because it's the 17th video about card X, and what they're presenting to you is no different than videos 1 through 15. And what I'm looking for is that person that's different, right? Lonnie presented when Lonnie first launched his channel, he presented the United cards in a completely different context than anyone else was talking about the United cards. Or the Sapphire Reserve in a completely different context than anyone else was talking about the Sapphire Reserve. Not too long after Lonnie put out his first videos about the Sapphire Reserve, suddenly people were taking another look at the Sapphire Reserve. I'm not going to say that X caused Y. Causation is not or correlation is not causation, but there was some influence there.
It's because I actually had those two cards.
I know.
Just saying.
um, but yeah, it was just a different look, and it's because it was somebody who genuinely has those cards. It's somebody who has genuinely been getting huge value out of that. And then there's other folks who like it got them to consider getting the cards, or it got them to re-examine those cards to see if those cards fit for them. And some of those folks genuinely did the experiment. Other folks probably just went with, hey, and there's United cards, and check out my affiliate link if you're interested in those United cards. And that's how they made their commission if they didn't have the cards. So, like the folks who genuinely don't have the cards, you can probably weed them out pretty quickly. The folks who seem to be on a mission to sell one card over another, you could probably find them out pretty quickly at this point. I'm more interested in the people who genuinely have a card and like it's their perspective on it. I'm also interested in just being the guy who's, hey, here's X and Y about this card. And when I do the news segments on my channel or speculation station or anything like that, I will tell you what cards I have, what cards I don't have, why I don't have this card, why another card isn't a fit for me. And I'll even say, look, this card, this is how I feel about this card, right? If this card works for you, go get this card. I'm not going to let my biases toward a card try to dissuade you from getting that card if that card fits you. But if that card doesn't fit you, try to listen to me when I say it's probably not a good idea. If it's not a good idea for you. But yeah, and the folks where you've seen the rise and the fall, there's a genuinely good reason why there was a rise and fall. Like people caught on, and hopefully more people will catch on to other folks where that might start showing itself. So thanks, Jason. Yeah, we'll move over to our next question. Comes from Kirby G, who asks, what is the worst travel experience you have had? A situation where not just one bad thing happened, it's stacked and stacked. RJ, any travel horror stories of just Murphy's Law?
No, I travel well. No. I am lucky enough that I've had moments bad travel, but I've never had a complete disaster. Unfortunately, Craig is not on this episode for this question because some of his travel stories are horrifying, amusingly, but horrifying. I'm gonna pull Lonnie and bow out on this one.
Fair enough. Lonnie?
I don't even know where to start. I've dealt with
Super.
all of it. Yeah, I've dealt with all of. I can't say which one's been the worst or which one had a chain reaction of stuff just goes on and on. I have one of two options here. I can say my first time dealing with a canceled flight where I had to stay in a hotel when I was a kid. Luckily enough, I was with my family, at least with my mom and dad, I should say. So it wasn't like weird, but I won't say it was bad because I actually was old enough to get my own hotel room where, the airline paid for that. So I think that was one of the first times I actually stayed in a hotel hotel room by myself. But now that I mention that, the one time I flew Spirit, man, if it could happen, it did happen. No one at the check-in gate, bags were lost at check-in, not at the destination. They lost the bags at the airport you were actually at. So we couldn't even leave the airplane because they're like, "Yo, we don't know where we put your bags, like that you handed us at the counter."
They forgot to charge you the extra fee that would allow them to know where the bag was.
They charged the fee. You handed it to them. They
Okay.
threw it on the conveyor belt behind them,
And
and
it
then
just
we don't know
vanished.
what and you don't know what happened. By the time you got on your flight, they're like, "Yeah, we don't know where your bags are, so we have to delay the flight because half the bags were missing at the airport before we even left." So that got delayed. Oh, I forgot. That happened after the plane came in about 4 hours late. First time I ever slept on the floor in an airport was that particular moment in time where I had to
First time, last time.
plug my phone into a wall, make sure I turned an alarm on, and then roll over on top of it to make sure that when I fall asleep that nobody stole it. Never felt more dirty in my life. And then I still had to fly Spirit in hopes that they didn't lose my bag.
I am shocked you didn't just walk over to the United counter and immediately just fall and be like, please save me.
I honestly think this was before I could officially turn myself into a United loyalist. Like I didn't have a United card or anything like that yet. This was my time where I was still in the music industry. I had quit working for my previous employer, went independent, so everything was on my own. Where I'm just like, I just need to get to LA. And however I can get there for the cheapest option, I'm just gonna get there. And if you've heard my story of how I got into the travel game, it was like these types of stories that actually was like, screw this. I'm going to go full in on one airline that treats me well. It wasn't too many flights after that where I went 100% like United loyal, where my United loyalism. Look that one up.
Loyalty.
Started. I know the word, Matt. I just let me play around a little bit.
Okay.
Loyalism started. So yeah, a Spirit flight. It's so traumatizing. I can't even remember every single detail in the proper order, but I remember I will never fly Spirit again from that one flight. It only took one.
Ouch. RJ, you bowed out. Yep, never mind. Worst travel experience. I tried to drive cross country after the 2012 election. I worked on the 2012 election. I was in Ohio and it was stressful. So I decided after the election I was going to drive out to California, hang out with some college buddies of mine, make my way back home after traveling back across the country from California. Made it out to California, enjoyed my time out there, spent Thanksgiving with my buddies, enjoyed, spelunked my way around the East Bay and San Francisco and all that. So got to know Richmond, got to know Oakland, got to know Berkeley, got to know the bridge and BART system and all that. So that was cool. Went to that one bar that does the Irish coffees famously. Like did the things in San Francisco, left, and like my plan was to do 12-hour drives. It was all right, San Fran to, I don't know, like Flagstaff. That's about 12 hours. I can get to Flagstaff, Arizona. So I did that. On my drive, because I have 12 hours across California and northern Arizona, it was like, oh, yeah, the Grand Canyon's not too far from here. And talking to some friends, it was just like, I may as well go to the Grand Canyon. When the hell is the next time I'm going to be in northern Arizona? Because I didn't know when the next time I'd be in northern Arizona would be. So a friend of mine convinced me to go up, spend some time the next day, go up to see the Grand Canyon. Went, saw the Grand Canyon. Fantastic. Drove along, stopped at all the places where you stop for stuff when you're like driving through and you're not making it your plan to be at the Grand Canyon for days on end. Decided to leave the Grand Canyon. When I was driving in, there was like this little outcropping for the little Colorado River Gorge just outside the Grand Canyon like entrance. So I was like, all right, I'll stop there. So I decided to turn off for that. End up getting T-boned, wreck my car in Flagstaff. It's not in Flagstaff, sorry, in the Grand Canyon. Flagstaff's about 100 miles away. And your other option is Yuba City, which is also 100 miles away. Like the desolate nature of the Grand Canyon probably can't be overstated when you've been in a car accident. So, car got totaled. I don't know what's going on with me. I've fractured a bone. I get airlifted out to back to Flagstaff Hospital. I got nowhere to go. I had checked out of a hotel that morning. Turns out I was getting checked back into the exact same hotel. I've been doing this drive solo because I would just left a job and I was working my way back home. I wasn't planning on getting home for like another week and a half because I was going to go to New Mexico. I was going to go to Texas. I was going to go to several other places along the way, try to hang out with some friends along I-40. And yeah, no, this has been suddenly stopped. This now creates like a set of circumstances where I've got to the next morning find where my car was towed, get to where my car was towed, get everything out of my car that I can possibly get out of my car that I need, bring what can't go on an airplane, which is most of what I had, to a UPS or FedEx type destination, ship everything back to my house in New York, and then fly from Flagstaff to Phoenix, and then fly overnight from Phoenix to home. All of this planned at the absolute most ridiculous rates possible. This was long before anyone in my family knew what points and miles were. My mom just coordinated pretty much just paying full freight for everything, and it was just insane. I think I flew American Airlines overnight. I don't know offhand. All I knew is that it was a flight from Phoenix to JFK, and I'm in the one of the last rows of the plane. It's pretty much the only seat available. I am stuck there after a long layover at Sky Harbor, and I am on painkillers. I have a fracture in a relatively fresh bone fracture. I'm not supposed to move my arm, and everything hurts. That would be my worst travel experience. But because until that point, everything else was good. Like I had stayed at hotels along the way, everything was fine. I was new to name my own price. I was kind of lucking out along the way. There was like one sketchy hotel in, I think it was Colorado. Maybe it was in Denver that was like slightly sketchy. Whatever, it was fine. You live, you learn. My Omaha stay was okay. My time in California was cool because I was mostly just spending it with my friends. And like I don't even remember what the hell hotel I stayed at in Flagstaff, but it was fine. And then I had to stay there again, which I wasn't expecting to do because I was supposed to be in Albuquerque and I wasn't. So yeah, that would probably be my worst travel experience. You never want to be like deep in economy in the middle seat with a fractured bone and on painkillers. It's just not a great place to be.
That does not sound fun.
No.
Were you in a middle seat, though?
Yes, I was.
Just to add insult to injury.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Josh, may enjoy the middle seat in economy in the back toward the back of the plane, and that is perfectly fine. I will just say I was smaller than I am now then. I want to say this was like a 757 maybe, or like some sort of smaller Airbus. I don't remember, but like it's an overnight flight from Phoenix that was completely booked to JFK, and I'm in the middle seat in terrible pain. And touchdown did not help.
It wasn't a smooth landing.
Not that I remember. No. And this was one of the big three because I think this was an American flight. I think it was American. It definitely wasn't Spirit, though it may as well have been.
This is why Matt hates American Airlines, guys, is because of that flight from Phoenix to JFK.
Oxycodone's a pain in the ass. for so many reasons does not help the flight. Anyway, so yeah, there you go, Kirby. That is my Grand Canyon story. AP asks, what's the tightest layover you ever made? Please tell the story if you have one. And I'm just going to immediately bat out because most of my layovers have been multi-hour. Like I have not had significantly tight turnarounds. So I either book direct or I have some stupid amount of layover in between. Last year when we all met in New Orleans, I had a multi-hour layover in Charleston because I was flying Breeze and I did Breeze through. So whatever. I was testing the Breeze product for that. It was multi-hour. It was fine. We went to the lounge. It was sad. Before that, we did an international flight. My dad, my brother, and I did an international flight to like Edinburgh, but we went through Shannon. And prior to that, we flew down to Philadelphia to fly to Shannon and to then fly on to Edinburgh. All of that had multi-hour stopovers. So that wasn't super tight. And then there was the Sky Harbor experience, which I landed at Sky Harbor at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I wasn't taking off from Sky Harbor until 9. So not at all a tight turnaround. I had time and bad airport food. Yeah, I'm a bow out. RJ, any tight layovers for you?
26 minutes in Detroit.
I don't know what you were thinking when you made that booking.
I wasn't. I was like, oh, cool.
Clearly.
This gets me to, I don't have to be at the airport at 6 a.m. and I get to where I'm going before like night. Awesome. Sign me up. I didn't check my layover time.
Now,
yes.
with this being Detroit Wayne, was this all in the McNamara terminal or did you have to go over to the other terminal?
No, it was all in the same terminal.
Okay.
It wasn't actually that bad. I just had to get from one end to the other. It is where so I have a love-hate relationship with those little sidewalky things that are the conveyor belts because they should be longer. If you're gonna have them, they should be like 6 times the length because they do no good. Just
They should bring you to the gate and have little off ramps.
They're too short. But that is where my decided disinterest in them came from because like I had to go from I want to say it was like 1 to 77 or something. Like it was some stupid number where you're just like, okay, they've already opened the gate as I get off of this plane. So guess I'm moving myself and I made it in time and I was in first class for both flights. So I was lucky enough where I was one of the first, if not the first person off the first flight. And then I was not one of the last, but I was towards the last of the people to get on the next flight, but I made it. Everything worked out. But now I am much more aware of layovers. I have one that I want to say is like 50-ish minutes. That is about as tight as I will do. It's through Detroit. It's Delta, so it'll be the same terminal. That is about as tight as I will do.
That's fair.
And it's when I come back from Hawaii and it's early in the day. So there are a lot of flights from Detroit to my home airport throughout the day that if I don't make that flight, there are 5 or 6 other flights I will be able to be rebooked on to where I'm going to get home. It's not going somewhere, right? Where it's a critical, oh, if I miss this to hook into my flight to Hawaii, I'm screwed. Like it's the last leg of the return journey.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Lonnie, tightest layover?
34 minutes in Denver.
Also sounds like just pure hell.
If you know Denver Airport, it's basically a bunch of straight lines. And so I knew the gate you can see what gate you're gonna like taxi into when you land, and you can see the gate. I was very familiar with Denver Airport. I'm like, I can make this. I didn't have luggage or anything like that. I was literally traveling with only a backpack. So I'm like, yeah, I can do this. This is where status comes in handy because my status got me to sit in the front of the plane, which means I got off first. And after that, I can just book it. Grab both straps, pull them tight, and just go. And I can use the conveyor belt
chest
things.
strap, sir? Do you tighten the chest strap as well in that moment?
I don't have any backpacks that have that chest strap that I can think of.
Good.
My
probably have,
airbag has it. I occasionally you cinch that thing down and you become the backpack. You're like a turtle with a shell.
Yeah. 34 minutes, and I'm like, to its credit, it was literally only 10 gates away. So it wasn't like very far, but it was 34 minutes. They were almost done boarding by the time I got off the plane and everything. But your boy made it. But I did use the conveyor belt thingies, unlike RJ.
They are super useful, but they just need to be longer.
Use them, but they need to be longer.
They're like a traffic light where you can just see a million people and you know it's red and you just skip it because you're not going to be able to run down it anyway. But when I see that thing is no one on there, or maybe like a toddler, oh yeah, I'm going to sprint down that sucker. I will avoid the children. But the simple fact I got all that, no pun intended, runway, I'm going to use it to my advantage. So I was able to use one of them, I think.
People just need to follow DC escalator etiquette on those things, where if you're not moving, stay to the right. And if you are moving, left.
Nope. Because here in America, even if you stay on the right, your body is probably large enough to lean and bleed over into the left. And so,
Lottie, while I absolutely resemble that statement, come on, man.
I'm talking elbows, feet, carry-on luggage. I'm not talking about physical stature, even though that there are a couple of those people out there too. So you guys say longer. I say wider or just more. Like, these are for people that are moving. These are the walk ones.
Okay. Allow me to revise and extend my remarks. If you're going to be on that thing and you're not going to move, and then position it so that your back is against the little handrail and allow more space for the people who need to move.
See, the problem is people turn their belly to the like rail, which means their backpack is like hanging over the side, which is now an obstruction in the way. What you're supposed to do is turn your back to the rail so your backpack hangs over the rail, and then there's plenty of space. But the same frustration of you just trying to get them to stand on the right side, I'm trying to get them to stand the right way. We're both losers in this.
All right. If you fail on the first one, you just get off and then you're summarily executed right there in the airport. Why not?
Straight to
jail. I still got a little bit of pep in my step. I can skip it and get a small little workout in.
It's fine. All right. Thanks, AP. We'll move over to our news roundup. Just a couple quick pieces of news.
We're still on questions.
No, I just wrapped those. No, we're gonna wrap that.
Finished questions.
We did all
was all
questions.
That was all questions. We just did an hour and a half of questions with 3 of us.
Did I go on a tangent that I'm not aware of?
2 or 3.
You did 2 or 3 solid ones.
I'm good for my tangents. Let's not get it twisted.
You know what? That's why people like us, so we're gonna roll with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to my tangents. I love them.
Middle ground MLM. That's where we lost it.
That was an authentic answer.
I had an authentic
answer and a philosophical answer. I have not bowed out yet this episode.
I understand. I appreciate it. I'm just pointing out where the tangents happened. That's all. All right, news. We've got